I want him to stop because right now we've got a sick cat, and he'll just barrel roll the sick cat.
And it doesn't happen all the time. You know, it's just when he gets cranked up, but you've got to get a little control.
And then he's been barking a lot for attention. So if I go to cook dinner, he'll sit in the living room and bark at me.
Okay.
I ignore him.
Yeah.
But it takes him a long time to calm himself down. He does nothing wrong, really. It's just like and we got parents coming for Christmas.
You too.
So like to keep him down and be able to get him to stop.
Totally. When he's in that excitement
super
mode. Yeah.
Like stop would be the best. Just stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Freeze.
I should have brought maybe a dog so we could have gotten him in an excited state and then learn to chill from that.
You know, it's funny. Like he'll, the placing still works. Right. Okay. I mean, so if
that's what I was thinking.
If you tell place, he'll do it, right? But like for example, if it's in the late afternoon, there's like this time window.
It's an hour and a half after he eats every day.
So he's cranked up.
Like dinner,
breakfast, or dinner.
Either.
An hour and a half, he's just crazy.
Crazy? Are you feeding in the crate still?
No, feeding out.
Okay.
Yeah. So what he'll do is like at dinner time, Heidi's been with him, and he'll eat his dinner, and then for an hour or so he'll just start running, and it's not a horrible thing. It's just that if you got to get some control. Like once in a while, if I'd really try to lean on him, he might go rawr and try to like mouth at my hand a little bit.
Okay. If he's in that state. Okay. He needs to learn how to cool it when he's super excited.
Yeah. I'd like to try to bring him back down.
Yeah. When he does it, and we'll see if we can try to get him to do it. When he stops the barking, are you telling him place?
Well, if I'm cooking, he'll usually grab something so that I have to come out there and deal with him. So he'll grab something off the counter, something, and start running so that I have to stop what I'm doing and come out there and contend with him. Okay. But usually I just grab a treat. He'll drop everything, go to place, and be fine.
Okay.
He's trying to create games out of things. He's like, I want to play. I see that you're cooking. I see that you're on the phone.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I want you to pay attention to me.
Yeah. So we need to reverse his thinking and let him know, like, jumping up, grabbing things, barking, that is not how you get my attention. Going to your bed, laying there is. Now the one thing is you have to be very on top of noticing when he does just go to his bed. One of my new dogs, when he wanted attention, would come up and just mouth and nip. So I've been doing the same exact thing, teaching him to go to his bed. And now when I'm in the kitchen or just doing something, working, and he is just going into his bed, I have to make that extra effort to be like, yes, that's how you get my attention, go over to him.
Oh.
So make sure you do that. But here's
rewarding whenever he goes
to it, because he needs
like
a different way. Remember, like you just being like, no, stop it, might get him to stop in that instance, but the next time he wants attention, he's going to go back to his natural instinct. And it's not like forever, his entire life, when he goes to his bed, you have to drop everything and go and praise him for that. But in the beginning, when we have to rewire that natural instinct, you do have to make sure you're paying attention to that. And that's hard, because he's right, like we always talked about from the beginning, the negative behaviors do get our attention more. If you're cooking and he's laying on his bed, it's like, you probably won't even notice. So it's making that extra effort to notice that. No, I don't expect him to do that yet, because we have to be very consistent with redirection. But here's the thing, for this to work is you have to be able to catch the redirecting to the bed between the barking, or if he's standing at the gate, you probably see him sometimes knowing barking is coming, right?
Yeah, you can feel it.
Best time to catch it would be right there before the barking. Go to your place. Then go and just praise him.
No treat?
You can give him a treat. What the goal would be with treats is a treat, and we might not be able to do this in the beginning. We'll see if we can get him to do it, but a treat only if he goes on his own first, not if you have to direct him. Okay. So remember, the two different levels of training are always, one, will the dog do it with your redirection instantly? Is he still taking a little while to go to place?
When he hears that word and he knows it, it's like, oh wow, treat's coming. So he'll just drop. He'll get over there pretty darn quick.
He does. Okay, so that's good. So he's pretty good at level 1, the redirection.
Absolutely.
But goals with training is not to be on top of your dog for life.
Right.
It's for it to become their new natural instinct. So Bird, 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 what is it, baby? Hi, my love. So level 2 is for him to be doing it on his own. So, you know, for like a week maybe when you're doing this, if you can catch him in that spot right before he's about to bark, when you want to bark, do this instead. Praising. And then I would say probably, depending on how good his stay is, how good is his stay?
No.
It's not there. Maybe we need to work on that too then.
Yeah.
The go to your bed and the stay. But I'm just thinking, like, it depends. Like, if I'm in the kitchen and I tell Osa to go to his bed, good boy. In the beginning when I did this, I had to go back to him and praise him, you know, every 30 seconds to make sure he would stay there. Then I extended that out. Because if he keeps getting up, you're making him stay for too long. You have to go back to him. So if after 30 seconds he got up, you have to go back to him every 20 seconds in the beginning. Find that part where he's staying on the bed.
So the part that I guess the question I'd have is that if he's down and he's there for 5 minutes, he's going to get bored, right? And then he's going to go walk around. But what you're saying is that's okay, but if you start doing the barking thing, we need to get you to go over to your place.
I mean, if he would stay for 5 minutes, that would be great. But I'm saying ideally he would just go and sit there. If he wants to go there and then go walk around and entertain himself, great, whatever. But, so there's 2 ways you can do it. You can command to stay when he gets there, and then he can't get up and walk around. He has to stay there. But really, just going to his bed, and then, yes, good job, you did it, as long as he doesn't come back to you and start barking again.
I don't see him when he barks, though, because it's not like he's at the gate. He'll, like, he'll back himself up. He'll be, like, kind of behind where I can't see him, and then he'll be like,
okay.
So I have to come see what he's doing. If he needs to go out, if he needs to do this.
So ignore him. He can hold it for however long you're cooking for.
But if you ignore, he'll start barking more.
Does he stop then?
He'll usually escalate. If you just completely ignore him, he'll start escalating louder, more.
He's like, oh, you're not going to pay attention. Watch this. I'll get on the couch and I'll rip it.
Okay, so a couple things. So try to find, look at him, he's like, don't listen. Try to find that point where he's not barking yet and do exactly what we said. Yeah. Ideally, he goes to his bed, doesn't bother you the whole rest of the time. But we can work on a stay with that. Now, if he already is barking, 0 attention. This is so hard, but just totally ignore it. I don't know how much he responds to a no during the barking. Sometimes dogs won't, then don't even.
I bet in the middle of barking, if I just went like that, he'd go to his place.
He would.
The place thing, because he knows that there's a treat involved, that'll
no
usually work.
treat if there's barking first.
Okay.
So he has to be able to get treats for things, it should not be because he's doing the bad behavior and then redirect it with anything at this point. So I know you don't give all that many treats, but like let's say he jumps up, then we have to tell him down. Absolutely 0 treats for that. Yeah. You know, a treat maybe if he went and greeted somebody, you know, when your parents come, you might want to bring out treats a little for instances like that to shift excitement off of them.
That's why I feel like we have the problem, because I have to give him a treat to get your socks out of his mouth, anything, because you can't catch him.
Yeah, so with that, he knows drop it when it's a game like that. So this would be the ideal time to redirect him. If he barks, if he just stops for even a second, direct to the place. So he understands barking gets 0 attention. But if he's just getting hyped up and you're like, place, he's good. But once you redirected him, no treat. If he comes back either barking, grabbing something, to the crate.
I got you. So it's one shot to the place, and then if you're going to keep playing that game, then
because then if you told him like,
I won't be able to catch him though to put him in the crate. He'll run, and he is good. Really? Now he knows how to get in the office, and he goes around the desk, so there's no way I can grab him, and he just laughs hysterically. He's all,
oh my gosh, that's so naughty. So you got to do whatever it takes. I mean, don't like sit there and like play with him, but the more times once you do grab him, and it's just pulling him up by the collar to his crate, the less he's going to play that game. Yeah. Okay. I would say you could direct him outside, but he might get in to think that's really what he's
happy as a lark outside.
Back to the crate. And remember, don't have it be like a punishment. Don't be like, get in there, even though you're going to be so pissed probably. Right. just be like, okay, in here, break. This is what happens when
5
you pull
minutes, 10 minutes.
As long as he's not barking. He never really barks.
No, as soon as he goes in, he'll stop. So
however long. I would say if that all happened while you were busy with something, finish what you're doing, and then he can come out.
The other problem is he loves his crate.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Because he goes in there all the time just by himself, and he sits there and looks at me, and he's like, I love it in here.
No, that's great. And be like, okay, that's where you can hang out. And then if you want to, you can either be in here, or you can be out with me and not be playing these kind of control games. You know, I'm not going to play that. He gets more than enough tension. He gets more than enough exercise. It's just that kind of rebelling to see.
Yeah.
So
that's what it is.
He, one redirection is more than enough for him because he knows he's not supposed to be doing the barking or playing the little game and grabbing things. And I think there's nothing that, I'm a very patient person, obviously. Nothing makes me more mad than when a dog grabs something and wants to play that game. I'm like, oh no. So try not to feed into it. Like, just be like, Laddie, would he come to you? Do you think if you just bend down, you can't put energy into, like, if you put energy into, like, getting this thing from you, it's a huge game. So I just sit there and I'm like, oh, Laddie, look at this toy.
Yeah, he won't come to me if he's got something in his mouth or if he's trying to get away from me. You could do anything.
When he goes into the office, are there doors on the office?
When he goes, well, that's his last resort.
Okay.
When he knows he's in trouble. Like, if I'm trying to grab him and I'm like, Laddie, come here, he won't.
Okay. So what I would be doing is kind of cornering him. So, like, obviously walk towards him. Like, I would just be walking, hi. Yes, he's probably running, so I'm not going, there's a difference in, like, walking towards him and closing space on him.
Yep.
He knows, man. He is, like...
And you can be very firm once you get him. Like, loss of freedom right here, for sure. I don't think he should be playing those games. How old is he now?
He's, was 1 year in May. So, year and 5 months.
Year and a half. Are you guys ready for a second?
I don't know.
Not yet.
I don't know. It's just...
He's like, maybe. Are you?
Heidi's kind of thinking that way, but I don't know. I mean, I think one's enough, but a lot of people say the second one's easier, right? Or that it's just, they entertain
I
themselves.
think it is, but I don't know how much easier a second one's going to be. Like, he's a good dog.
Yeah.
So cute.
And he followed everything so well. Like, he's not a stubborn dog.
Oh, no.
At all. I mean, you have these little instances, every dog is, but there are some Vishas that are so smart and manipulative, and just their personalities are so stubborn that it makes it hard.
He's not stubborn.
No,
he wants to learn, and he's like, he's a good boy, and he's super sweet. He just wants to have fun.
Yes.
It's just, it's really more
like
about
lucked out so much with him.
It's more about an owner issue more than him. It's just, we just need to know that's why I want to call you. Is just get a couple of little tricks of the trade down, and he'll be fine.
Yeah,
it's just,
that's how everything.
He wants me on the couch, and he puts his arm like this and lays on me. And he's like, let's stay just like this for the day. And I'm like, I can't have things I gotta do.
He's so cute. Do you think he'll get into that state if you go into the kitchen right now?
how about if we all go into the kitchen and he's
then,
on the other side?
and
that might get it. Yeah, so if we all hang out over here and start talking, then he's going to get jealous.
Okay. Yeah.
Off.
Off. So even this. Place. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Yeah, I don't think he needs a treat over there anymore. It just needs to be.
Just go.
Unless you're in here and you just look over and that's what he's doing.
Okay.
Then go.
So see, that's what we haven't been doing is rewarding the good behavior. Because a lot of times he'll just sit on the sofa over there, whatever he's doing, being nice.
Because you just want him to know that's how you get attention. Because right now, he gets the best attention by doing something bad first and then being told to go. So this is where, like right here, if he made the decision to not jump up, not bark, and just go straight to his bed, that would be great. So this is where the levels 1 and 2 of training are different. So for the first week that you're doing this in this state, he's thinking about doing it. And we want to rewire when he's here to go there on his own. But we need to constantly redirect him first at the level 1. Glad, place. Yes, good boy. Good boy. So that could get a treat, but ideally a treat would only be he's standing there thinking about it, he's like, I could bark, or I could go to the place, and he goes someplace on his own.
He's just not wound up right now. Food in him, he'd be out of control.
Food in it. Yeah, why don't you guys feed him in the crate and make him like digest his food for like an hour?
I mean, it's an idea. We've never done that. I mean,
Oh, you never fed him in the crate?
well, for when he was a pup, we tried doing that for a bit, but it didn't really work that great.
And he
I
always
think.
liked his crate, so we didn't really have to, right?
Yeah, and sometimes he wouldn't eat in there and that kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Well, we've gotten to a point now where it's, just throw the food out here for him, and he'll usually eat it pretty quick, and then that's it. But I mean, if you think it's a big deal, we could go to that. But
it's just it's good health-wise so that their stomach doesn't bloat. Same thing with people. You shouldn't exercise after eating. Larger dog breeds, like much larger, are very susceptible to bloat, and bloat in dogs is literally their stomach twists and kills them, and it's the worst death ever. Not that it would happen, but I think it's always good to just eat, chill for 30 minutes anyways. So if he's doing that, I think health-wise it's good. And then if
So you like the idea of at food
I
time?
think it's gonna go. Yes!
Good
Another
boy.
treat. What a good boy! Oh, go
That's
back!
not his place.
That's okay though, I mean, is that the cat's bed? I mean, he still made the decision, he wanted to jump, he sat. A lot of times I would reward for that even. Because he thought about jumping, he's like,
He did the right thing. Yeah.
I'll sit. But even better, he ended up doing that on his own. That was amazing. Good
He knows
boy.
your game, girl.
He does. He just needs that little direction, right?
You see, like the idea of putting food in his crate, letting him eat in his crate for, and digest it for a half hour, and then pulling him out. That's what you like.
Yeah. I just think if there's crazy times, especially after food in him,
Yeah.
he should chill. He doesn't need to be sprinting after a meal, just like we don't need to be,
Right.
But then after 30 minutes, it's digested a little bit more. And then I'll give you guys some tips on what to do when he's in the heightened level to chill.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to practice it a lot.
Right.
You have to
It's actually, he doesn't go crazy right after he eats. It's probably right after his food digests is when he gets his...
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think about it, sometimes he doesn't eat right away when we put down the food. It can take him a couple hours before he goes for it.
Really?
Yeah, he's not a big eater.
He always eats at my house.
Some days he's hungry, some days he doesn't really want to eat, some days... I mean, he's healthy,
Yeah.
He eats his
looks
food every
great.
day.
He's in perfect shape.
but he's not motivated by food by any means. Treats, but not food.
Weird.
Yeah. So for like breakfast, like right now, he if we put the food down, he might want to eat it right now. He might not.
Really?
He'll eat it. It's a matter of, is it in this 30-minute block or the next 30-minute
Sometimes
block?
he'll wait till
Really?
dinner time, finish his food, and then want his new food and eat that.
Weird.
But I think it's...
If you guys were seeing more control issues from you, I would say 100% you need to feed him in his crate. He's got 30 minutes to eat, and if he doesn't eat,
Then you pull the food.
pull the food till dinner. But because he doesn't really have control issues, I think it's always good if a dog will eat their meal, just for the routine of it. Have you tried switching the food ever?
We have
coconut
not.
oil. That helps with skin.
Coconut oil?
Like a little tablespoon of melted coconut oil.
On top of it? Okay.
Coat it in the kibble. They love
Okay.
it. Or goat's milk at Pupology, you can get it.
Okay.
Raw goat's milk is amazing for just digestion, their stomach, and
Okay.
dogs love it. So I'll just mix that. Those are the two things I mix into my dog's kibble.
Raw goat's milk and coconut oil. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
idea.
just think it's good for a dog to eat their food. Just because dogs with control issues, if it's here, they're like, oh, I can eat what I want. But again, I'm not really concerned about that. He's not a controlling dog.
My feeling is on the...
What a good boy. Yes, you are.
You are such a good actor.
My feeling on the food is that it's just maybe it's give him 2 cups in the morning, 2 cups at night. And, it's kind of like us, right? I mean, if you've eaten enough, right? And maybe you had a big dinner and
Yeah.
I'm just not that
Just
hungry.
doesn't eat that
That's what it
much.
feels like to me.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, that,
so he's
you know,
eating some.
maybe I should pull the food back, but I don't want to see any more of his ribs, right? I think that he's
he
at the
looks
right spot.
He literally looks perfect.
Yeah, that's
shape,
what I think.
Yeah. I agree. So very rarely does he actually eat his 4 cups a day, though. Is that what you're saying?
He eats. It's just a matter of when does he eat it,
Okay.
right? Like, so if I put it down now, it's like 10:30 right now.
It's just not on his list. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get to that when I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to it
That's
when I get
his
to it.
thing.
Yeah.
It's, he wants his food put down. He gets excited. He's happy. But he's like, I'd rather play ball with you.
In a way, it's a good thing too. Like when you talk about the bloat and the flip of the stomach, maybe what he's just doing is just letting his body calm down. He's like, and he just because I'll run him for, over an hour
before breakfast, right?
Right before.
Yeah.
And he comes home, he's panting. I mean, he's running the whole time. I mean, he's putting on miles every morning. And so when he gets back here, it seems to me like maybe he's just got to settle down a bit. When you put his dinner down at night, he eats it right away.
He eats it, because I make it all special for him, so.
So I think that maybe that's a piece of what's going on too, is that.
Yeah.
And then he's mellow.
Okay.
And then we have crazy time.
Like an hour later.
He just run around, grab stuff.
It's usually about an hour later after breakfast.
Just watch when he's eating, as long as it's like an hour later.
Yeah, because it's usually till about 7 o'clock that he's crazy, and he eats at 5. So it's probably like a half hour afterwards.
Okay.
45 minutes that he starts his. And that's usually when I'm cooking dinner.
And that whole time he was over there, you can be praising him, telling him good boy when he's over there, but I didn't as much because I wanted to see when he comes back if he'll do it again. Oh, look. Kenny.
I got it.
That's how smart he is. He totally knows what he's supposed to do.
Here, I'm gonna let you give him a treat this time. There's a treat right there in the back.
Good boy.
Yes.
Good boy, Vladdy.
I didn't see him go instantly.
Yeah, he's got that piece down. It's
So good.
Good boy.
Now he's coming back. Let's see what
Place. Zaddy. Place.
Is that the cat's food?
Yeah.
He's like, I've been
Yes.
good for 3 times.
Yes.
No, time to read though.
Yeah,
Good
so he's
boy.
start- he's
Yep, no
starting
treat
to-
there then. What I would do after that second bark, let's say he came back and is barking, I would just stand here, try to direct him to place, because you can see he's probably going to be more, yes, good boy. He's probably going to be more hesitant to go to place because he's like more amped up, but just wait here for a little bit and direct him. See if he'll go there, and then if he goes there, yes, good place, but you're still going to guide him up.
So I can grab him from there and put him in the crate.
Kind of like a psych out, like go there, chill, then you can bring him up. And he's not gonna think like, oh, I'm being punished for that. It's just like, nope, you came back, you were barking too much out here, you don't earn the freedom to be out here right now. That's what I would try to do. And if from here he's still in like a crazy state, then it's just get him how you can without trying to play then to the crate. So as far as his excitement stuff, like if I run around, will he get super excited? Hi, place. Like this though, so it's harder for him. Glad. Yes. So you have to practice getting him into this heightened state and snapping out of it. Because during training mode, what we're doing is basically he's always in this state when I'm here. So this is where he's focused on his bed, full self-control. Whenever I'm here, he's right like this. This is the most excited he gets. But in reality, a dog is going to get up here, and if you don't practice when he's up here, training,
pulling him back
down. But it's hard because if you're in training mode, it's hard to have it escalate because he's so focused. So I just did this yesterday with little boxer puppy. Vlad, place. Yes. with the kids. So it's very hard to tell kids with a puppy, like you can't get them all excited. So what we did instead, there's like 5 kids, they run around, he jumps up. So what we did instead is give all the kids treats. Place. Yes.
Now you go to the crate, right?
Mm-hmm, because he went back to it. Yeah. Exactly. So I would have the kid just run around, get the dog into that heightened state, and then stop and tell the dog sit. So you kind of have to get them into the state that you don't want them ever getting into to teach them how to snap out of it. So it took him a little while to go to the place that first time. So the goal would be getting him in that state and him snapping out of it faster and faster and following that instant.
Good boy.
Good boy, buddy. Yay.
Good boy.
Yay. Good boy. Yay. Buddy. Hi. Good boy. Okay, tell him place right now.
Place.
Yes. But if you're playing and then you're like getting him all amped up or something and then John tells him place, he's got to snap out of that and vice versa.